Let's talk about jigsaw puzzles. How many jigsaw pieces do you think are needed to be truly challenging? 1,000 pieces? 10,000 pieces? How about 11 pieces? That's right. In this puzzle, quite literally named just an 11 piece jigsaw, all you need to do is put these 11 jigsaw pieces inside this square frame. According to Puzzle Master, this puzzle is rated difficulty level 10 out of 10, a rating reserved for some of the toughest puzzles they have. Wait, really? It's only 11 pieces, how hard can it be? When I saw this puzzle on Puzzle Masters, I really wanted to try it out. But apparently, only a handful of them were made and it was out of stock at the time. I got lucky and was able to purchase it when some of them were back in stock. The acrylic pieces are made very high quality and I especially like the thickness of the pieces. Made it fun to play with. Anyway, I turned on the stream, unwrapped the thing and started solving. And I immediately ran into our first problem. Can you tell what's happening? I admit that my stream quality isn't the best, but the pieces were quite clearly camouflaging into the frame. Even I couldn't easily tell what's going on. You might as well put a giant sensor over it and not even notice the difference. So here's one minor piece of feedback. Please make the pieces and the frame in different colors. Anyway, I resolved it by cutting a piece of paper and putting it into the frame. Much better. So the first thing I noticed was that the pieces couldn't properly fit in the edge of the frame. Placing 3 pieces leaves this sizable gap, and this gap wasn't large enough for another piece to fit in. If you're familiar with 2D packing puzzles, when you see something like this, it usually means the solution would require unusual placements, like pieces rotated in 45 degrees or other weird angles. I noticed that when you fit 2 pieces like this, you can fit 4 pieces perfectly along the edge of the frame. This makes the vertical placement uneven and makes it harder to deal with the rest of the space though. Another thing I noticed is that there were way more knobs than sockets. There are a total of 23 knobs, but only 8 sockets. Even if you could fit all 8 sockets, a good portion of the space must be filled with at least 15 of these knobs sticking out freely. Back to the stream, hours went by and I was getting nowhere. I was getting absolutely destroyed. That was until I got a hint from Mr. Akazu, a friend of mine and also a very talented puzzle designer. Before I continue, I must clarify that I wasn't asking for any help, and nor was he actually giving me hints. It's just that I was struggling for so long that I was in a state where I was drawing clues from everything I see or hear. Think of it like a drowning person desperately reaching everywhere to find something to grab on. Here's what Mr. Akazu said. Yes, it is very time consuming. By the way, not my favorite. From my experience with Mr. Akazu's puzzles, he likes puzzles with visually satisfying solutions. He likes his puzzles non-trivial, but also elegant and satisfying. And he didn't like this puzzle. That must mean the solution is going to involve some messy and unfair placement. This is where I had the sudden realization. In mathematical geometry, there's a problem called square packing. It's about figuring out the smallest possible square frame that can fit a given number of unit squares. Sounds familiar? I just happen to know that some of the layouts in square packing are very messy. The case with 17 squares is especially notorious. Personally, I remember the case with 11 squares from one of the XKCD comics I saw. I checked the puzzle again and indeed, the size ratio between the pieces and the frame was pretty much spot on. This means, even if the pieces did not have any knobs, the arrangement must still follow the optimal square packing solution. The holes in those pieces may allow some illegal layouts though. Even with this realization, I was still not quite there yet and had to struggle for extra few hours, but eventually, I finally solved it. Here it is. First, place these pieces in the corners, and then add the 4 tilted pieces, like this. Notice how some of the holes are eating into corners of the other pieces, effectively overlapping with them. This allows the final piece to fit in, and that completes the puzzle. That was just an 11-piece jigsaw. I really enjoyed solving it, despite hours of struggles I had. I usually upload puzzle videos without commentary, but I thought this one was interesting enough to give it an exception. If you want me to make videos on more puzzles, please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of the day.